It's shit like this that proves that people don't actually listen. They respond. Right? And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not guilty of that myself from time to time. But so often, people who oppose what it is that you stand for on social media will not listen to what you have to say. They will wait for you to stop talking so they can instantly respond. Once again, like I said, something I have been guilty of. This person says, your success is equal to the sum of the decisions you make. If you don't like where you are, then work harder. Oddly enough, this was left on a video in which I was talking about white privilege. And one of the examples that I gave of white privilege from my own anecdotal experience is that I, a white gentleman, was given the opportunity to advance in the landscape industry years and years and years ago over Hispanic workers that had been there far longer, knew more about the industry than I did, and were more experienced than I did. Was. Why was I advanced? Why was I taken from laborer to foreman over people that should have been running a crew as a foreman, and then eventually to superintendent over people that had been running crews for a long time, but never advanced to the superintendent position? I was told why. I didn't have to guess. I didn't have to speculate. I was told. Well, you're white, you're American, you speak better English. The customers want to deal with somebody like you. They don't want to deal with somebody like them. I worked with a gentleman by the name of Tony back in the day who had years more experience in landscaping than I did, knew far more about landscaping than I did. But because he spoke broken English, because he was Hispanic, because he wasn't what the customers wanted to deal with, I was made his boss. Tony wound up being the best foreman I had working for me for years in the company that I worked for. But he should have been the superintendent. He should have been advanced. So tell me something. What decisions did Tony make to prevent him from advancing? He worked his ass off. He showed up every day. He learned. He stayed when he needed to stay. He came in on weekends when he needed to come in on weekends. He did everything they ever asked him to do. His only downfall, quote unquote, was that he wasn't a perfectly English-speaking white American-born male. You say here, if you don't like where you are, then work harder. How much harder is he supposed to work? You see, this is easy for somebody to say when they don't experience the pitfalls and the hurdles that other people have to experience. When you don't have to jump over the same pitfalls and hurdles that people of color and women and immigrants and other minorities have to jump over, then it's easy to say, just work harder. You must have made some bad decision along the way. No. They were just passed over because of white privilege. Next time, listen and actually comprehend the content being put out, okay?